let's talk about the script. Not this script, but the one you have in your head. The script for how your day is supposed to go. The script for your career, for your relationships, for your life. We all have one. It's a detailed screenplay where we are the main character, and we've written out exactly how every scene should play out. The promotion we deserve, the perfect date, the smooth commute, the respectful discussion. And then, inevitably, life goes off script. The universe doesn't seem to have read our draft. Traffic jams, a project fails, a relationship ends, a global pandemic hits, and our reaction is almost always the same. Frustration, anger, despair. We get furious at reality itself for not following our directions. We suffer not just from the event, but from the gap between our expectations and the raw, untidy truth of what is. What if our suffering isn't caused by life going off script? What if our suffering is caused by clinging to the script in the first place? 2,000 years ago, a man who lived through more hardship than most of us could imagine offered a radical alternative. His name was Epictetus. He wasn't a wealthy aristocrat who philosophized from a marble villa. He endured brutality, poverty, and a permanent leg injury that, according to legend, was inflicted by his own master. After gaining his freedom, he became one of the most revered Stoic philosophers of his time, teaching everyone from common citizens to the future emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Why do his words matter so much today? Because his philosophy wasn't born in comfort. It was forged in the fire of extreme adversity. He wasn't interested in abstract theories. He was interested in a single, practical question. How do you live a good, tranquil, and powerful life, especially when the world around you is chaotic and beyond your control? His answer was a set of mental tools for building an unshakable inner fortress. And the first cornerstone of that fortress is a radical reimagining of our relationship with reality itself. He said, "Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do, and your life will go well." Let's unpack that, because it sounds almost impossible, doesn't it? Want things to happen as they do? You want me to want to get a flat tire? You want me to want my flight to be canceled? No, this isn't about pretending that negative events are good. It's not toxic positivity. It's something far more powerful, radical acceptance. It's the understanding that arguing with reality is a battle you will lose 100% of the time. The past is fixed. The present moment is what it is. You can spend all your energy raging against it, wishing it were different, lamenting your bad luck. Or you can conserve that energy, accept the new reality you're in, and pivot to your next move. Think of it like surfing. You can't control the ocean. You can't command the waves to be smaller or shaped differently. The wave is what it is. A bad surfer fights the wave, gets angry at it, and is inevitably crushed by it. A good surfer studies the wave, accepts its power and direction, and then uses their skill to ride it. They work with reality, not against it. This is what Epictetus is teaching. Let's bring this into your life. Example 1. Your career. You've worked for months on a project, pouring your heart and soul into it. You're certain you're next in line for a promotion. Then the announcement comes, and it's someone else. The script you wrote in your head just got shredded. The non-stoic response is to spiral. This is so unfair. They don't appreciate me. My hard work was for nothing. This is fighting the wave. The Stoic approach is to first take a breath and accept the fact the promotion went to someone else. That is the reality of this moment. This acceptance isn't surrender. It's the calm assessment of the battlefield. Only from this point of clarity can you ask the right questions. Okay, what is within my control now? I can ask for feedback. I can reassess my career goals. I can update my resume. I can use this as fuel to improve. You stop wasting energy on what should have been and focus it entirely on what is now. Example 2. A relationship. You go on a few dates with someone you really like. You feel a connection. Your internal script starts writing future scenes. Then they abruptly end it or simply ghost you. The pain is real, but the suffering is optional. The suffering comes from clinging to the script. But we were so good together. What did I do wrong? If only I had been funnier, divided by smarter, divided by more attractive. The Stoic acceptance is to say, I wanted this to continue. It did not. That is the truth. By accepting this, you allow yourself to grieve the loss of the potential you imagined, without adding the unnecessary torture of blaming yourself or endlessly replaying the past. You accept reality, and that acceptance is what allows you to heal and move forward. This ancient idea has a powerful modern parallel in psychology, particularly in acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT. ACT teaches that a huge amount of our anxiety and depression comes from trying to fight or suppress unwanted thoughts and feelings from arguing with our internal reality. The therapy helps people to accept those feelings without judgment and then commit to actions that align with their values. It's about accepting what is and then choosing who you want to be in the face of it. Here's a small exercise you can try today. It's called the Stoic Nod. The next time a small inconvenience happens, you spill your coffee, you miss the bus, your Wi-Fi cuts out, your body's first reaction is to tense up. Your mind's first reaction is to curse. Instead, consciously override it. Relax your shoulders, take a breath, and give a slight physical nod. You can even say internally, okay, this is how it is now. You are not saying it's good. You are simply acknowledging the reality of the moment. It's a microdose of radical acceptance. Practicing with small things builds the muscle for when the big things happen. So, the first step is to stop fighting reality and accept events as they happen. But why is this so effective? Why does this simple shift in perspective have the power to change our entire emotional experience? To answer that, we need to look at the second, and perhaps most famous, of Epictetus's teachings. It's the diagnostic tool that explains the root cause of our suffering. He tells us that our pain doesn't come from the event itself, but from the layer of meaning we add on top of it. He said, "It is not things themselves that disturb men, but their judgments about these things." This is the nuclear core of Stoic psychology. Events are just neutral data. They are empty of inherent meaning. A rainstorm is not bad. It's just precipitation. A stock market dip is not a disaster. It's a mathematical change. We are the ones who assign the labels. We are the storytellers, and our judgments are the stories we tell ourselves about the neutral data of the world. It is the story, not the data, that causes our emotional disturbance. Let's be clear. This doesn't mean that losing a loved one isn't painful, or that being betrayed isn't hurtful. The initial shock and pain are natural, but the prolonged suffering, the anxiety, the resentment, the despair that lasts for weeks, months, or years, that is fueled by our judgments. Let's look at some modern examples. Example 1. Social media. The event is you post a picture, and it gets fewer likes than you expected. This is a neutral, digital fact. The judgment that follows is, nobody cares about me. My life is boring. I'm not popular enough. That judgment, that story of personal failure and social rejection, is what causes the feeling of sadness and anxiety. The likes themselves have no power. Your judgment about what the likes mean has all the power. Example 2. Work stress. The event is your boss sends you an email at 5 p.m. that just says, "We need to talk tomorrow morning." The event is a set of words in an inbox. The judgment your mind might leap to is, "I'm in trouble. I'm going to be fired. I must have done something wrong." This catastrophic story can ruin your entire evening and fill you with dread. all before you have any actual information. The disturbance comes not from the email, but from the terrifying story you immediately started writing about it. This insight is the direct philosophical ancestor of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, one of the most effective and widely practiced forms of modern psychotherapy. The entire foundation of CBT is the cognitive model, which states that our thoughts, cognitions, create our feelings, and our feelings drive our behaviors. A therapist helps a patient identify their automatic negative thoughts, or cognitive distortions, things like catastrophizing, mind reading, and black and white thinking. Once identified, you can challenge and reframe these thoughts. This is exactly what Epictetus was teaching 2 millennia ago. He was the original cognitive behavioral therapist, so here's an exercise based on this. Separate the event from the story. Think of something that upset you recently. Take a piece of paper or open a note on your phone. In column 1, write down the objective event. Describe it as if you were a security camera. No emotion, no interpretation. My friend arrived 20 minutes late. I got a C on my exam. In column 2, write down your judgment, the story you told yourself about the event. My friend doesn't respect my time. I'm not important to them. Or I'm stupid. I'm never going to pass this class. Just seeing this separation on the page is incredibly powerful. It shows you that the event and your story are 2 separate things. It gives you a moment of space to realize that your story is not the absolute truth. It's just one possible interpretation. And if it's just a story, that means you have the power to edit it. So, what happens when we combine these 2 powerful ideas from Epictetus? We get a practical blueprint for building resilience and inner peace. Here are 3 core lessons. Lesson 1. You are the director, not the screenwriter. You don't get to write the script of life. You don't control the plot, the setting, or the other characters. Trying to be the screenwriter will only lead to frustration. However, you have complete and total authority to direct your own character. You control your reactions, your interpretations, and your actions. Stop trying to control the uncontrollable script and focus on directing your part with wisdom and grace. Lesson 2. Your mind is a workshop, not a mirror. We often think our mind simply reflects the world as it is, but that's not true. Our mind is an active workshop. It takes the raw materials of events and forges them into our emotional experience. If your workshop is filled with faulty tools like catastrophic judgments and rigid expectations, you will build suffering. The goal of this philosophy is to upgrade your tools, to become a master craftsman of your own perceptions. Lesson 3. Acceptance is the foundation of action. The 2 quotes show us that true, effective action doesn't come from raging against reality. It comes from calmly accepting it first. You can't navigate from a place you wish you were. You can only navigate from where you actually are, accepting the event as it is, want it to happen as it does, and accepting that your power lies in your judgment. It's not the thing, but the view, is what clears the fog and shows you the path forward. Philosophy is useless if it stays in your head. It needs to be practiced. Here are 3 daily practices to make these ideas a part of your life. Tool 1. The Stoic Journal. This expands on our earlier exercise. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes to reflect. What happened today that I didn't want to happen? For example, my meeting ran late and I missed my workout. What was my initial judgment about it? For example, my whole day is ruined. I'm falling behind on my fitness goals. How could I reframe this? For example, it was an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. I accept that the day didn't go as planned. I can adapt and go for a walk instead, or wake up a bit earlier tomorrow. My well-being is not dependent on a perfect schedule. Tool 2. The Premeditation of Evils, Premeditatio Malorum. This sounds grim, but it's an ancient technique for building resilience. In the morning, spend just 60 seconds thinking about what might go wrong in your day. Not to create anxiety, but to rehearse your Stoic response. I might get stuck in traffic. Rehearsal. If that happens, I will accept it and use the time to listen to my podcast. A colleague might be critical of my work. Rehearsal. If that happens, I will listen for the useful data in their feedback and not take it as a personal attack. This prepares you to face challenges with poise instead of panic. Tool 3. Practice voluntary discomfort. We are disturbed by things not going our way because we are addicted to comfort. Build your resilience by intentionally choosing small discomforts. Take a cold shower for 30 seconds. Skip the sugar in your coffee. Do a workout when you don't feel like it. This trains your mind and body to endure hardship and reinforces the message that you are in control, not your fleeting desires for comfort. We started by talking about the script, the rigid set of expectations we have for life. We see now that this script is the source of our suffering. The Stoic path, the path Epictetus showed us, is about throwing that script away. It's about trading the fragile illusion of control over the world for the real, unbreakable power of control over ourselves. True freedom is not found in a life where everything goes exactly as you want. That life doesn't exist. True freedom is found in building an inner citadel so strong that it can withstand any external event. It's the freedom to choose your response, to write your own story about what happens to you. Remember the words of the man who learned this truth as a slave, and in doing so, became freer than any emperor. Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead, want them to happen as they do, and your life will go well, because you understand that it is not things themselves that disturb men, but their judgments about these things. Build your fortress, master your judgments, and your life too will go well. Thank you for joining us at the Inner Citadel. If this helped you lay a stone in your own fortress, please like this video and subscribe for more tools to build a resilient mind. We'll see you next time.